Alright, we are gonna fix up this Nvidia Shield 9.0 update. If you made that update, Android 11, very wonderful update there that blocks all your apps from accessing the hard drive, blocks everything from accessing it. So we're gonna start with Retroarch here. We're gonna fix this up. You're obviously looking at this screen. You used to be able to see your games here. Now you can't see anything. What the heck happened? Easy fix. First thing we're going to do is go to the Google Play Store and download File Explorer, just XPL Explorer. And this is a File Explorer app. There's a lot of these apps, but this is probably the only one that still works here. You're going to have to give permission to it from the Nvidia Shield. This is the new screen that opens up. I've already given mine permission, but you're just going to click at the bottom after you click Android Data on the right hand side. You're going to see me go there in a second, but I'm not going to have to grant it permission. You will. So we're going to click this on the right hand side after we get our drive. You see the name of your drive right there. That's going to be important in a second. You're going to have to tell Retroarch where your drive is. The default one does not work anymore. So we're going to go ahead and access these files here. Go to the Retroarch config, open up the text file. You're going to need a mouse and keyboard for this part. I already plugged mine in. Search here at the top for browser. It's not browser, for browser. This is going to pull up a little file type called RGUI browser directory. We're going to change that directory to storage / storage / and you're going to need to put the name of your hard drive, which you can see in File Explorer. So if you go back to File Explorer there, and you have your hard drive plugged in, see the name, write it down. You're going to need to plug your mouse and keyboard in after, search for this, change that, save it. We're going to go back to Retroarch, and what do you know, the directory gets you back to your regular files. Scan these if you don't have them scanned already. I'm going to go ahead and scan the PlayStation games because we're going to go right into the other workaround. The ePSXe app does not work very well. It doesn't work at all right now with the new update. There's probably some workaround, but until that's an easy one or more attainable, or until they do a hot fix, we are going to just scan all the PlayStation games real quick, and then we're going to change the emulator to a different one, ePSXe rearmed, and that doesn't run as good as ePSXe, the application, which is separate from Retroarch. But because that application isn't working good right now, this is a good buffer. Let you still play your PlayStation games. Most of them still run pretty good. If you get the BIOS file, helps a little bit too. So we are going to scan that. We just finished scanning our drive. Now we're going to have to tell each of these games which core to use. You can do it whenever you play the game, or you can do them all ahead of time. I'm just going to do mine ahead of time. So this is just going to change the core association to PCSX rearmed. And that's the only one on Retroarch that works right now. Other ones, Duck emulator is supposed to be pretty good, but it's not open in the games right now, so we're going to use this one. Once these are all done, go to one of the games, open them up, they will play. So next we're going to get Dolphin working. It's got the GameCube emulator on it. This one's pretty easy. You're going to see the permissions that we had to grant for File Explorer that you would have had to grant that I didn't at the beginning of the video. So we're going to go to the open folder here. It's going to bring you to this white screen. This is the same one. You're just going to navigate on this one. You have to go to the top left with the mouse and click the hard drive, Sonics, USB, GameCube, and then use this folder. Now this is the same way that you do it with the Yaba use for Yaba Sanshiro for the Sega Saturn games. It's a different app, but unfortunately after you scan them, the games don't work still, so it still doesn't get access. these do though, so we got the GameCube games, we're going to move on to a workaround for the Drastic DS games. We're going to download Dig. It's a front-end emulator. You can actually access all your games on this. It doesn't have any emulators on it. It's just for aesthetic. It's a front end, so you need to have the other emulators like Retroarch downloaded already. We're going to hit allow here. When you complete the installation, you can let it scan your whole hard drive. It's going to take probably like 20 minutes depending on how big your drive is, obviously. So we're going to let it do that. You can access all your games here if you like it. I don't really think it's that pretty. It's kind of just, I don't know, just text. So we're going to use it to access Drastic, because Drastic is not working right now, and it is by far and away the best Nintendo DS emulator. This is going to let us, as long as we have Drastic downloaded, we can access the Nintendo DS library through this and play it on Drastic. If you open up the Drastic app though, you won't be able to access the games on the hard drive. So this is a nice workaround for that. You can use this for a bunch of your games. The only one you really need to is Drastic. I'm just going to open up a SNES game after I got this scan just to show you it's working. Obviously you have to change things like the emulator that it's choosing. So for this one we had to change the Super Nintendo emulator to the right one. The game runs no problem. You also have to change the controller inputs like on Retroarch, because like I said, this doesn't have anything on its own. It's this aesthetic, so it's going to pull all the controller configurations from whatever app you're using. Drastic's pretty good, so you shouldn't have to change much there. You can just start up the app and start playing DS games on Dig, and the controls should port pretty good. Alright, so last thing we're going to do here is the hotfix. Eventually, this is not going to all be necessary. You can go back to using your old apps, not having to do this workarounds. Maybe you change your text file back. You don't really have to if you don't want to, unless you're using other hard drives. But when you do finish, when they do make the proper hotfix and fix this, you're going to want it to update on your system. So we're going to show you how to how to look up your serial number and sign up for the hotfix. It's super easy. Once you put in your serial number of your system, it actually ports the download straight into your system, and it'll be a little pop-up at the top. It'll say that you have a download ready. So if you already have 9.0 downloaded, this is a nice way to secure whenever they have been fixing a bunch of different apps. They're aware that it's breaking a lot of their apps or has broken the functionality of their apps. So once you do have the serial number, you're going to put it in right here. The link is going to be below in the video here. So you're going to type in your serial number, hit submit. That's it. In like 2 hours, mine came in like an hour. They'll send the download. You can download it. This isn't going to fix all this stuff that I said, but at some point they will have the hotfix for each of these apps, or the apps will come up with an update that'll fix them. So for right now, this is how you can get your apps working today.